Your account says $1.4 million, and nobody around you has any idea. Not your co-workers, not your neighbors, not the guy who just cut you off in the parking lot of a Costco. You are driving a 7-year-old car. It has 91,000 miles on it. You know exactly how many. Your jacket cost $40 on sale, and somehow that feels exactly right. This is what 1.4 million actually looks like from the inside. Not the version on Instagram. The real one. You grew up watching money leave the house faster than it came in. You saw what broke felt like, not the Instagram version of broke, the real kind, the quiet kind. That version of broke lives in you somewhere. It never fully leaves, and that is exactly why you built something nobody can see. Let's talk about what this number actually does. Not what it buys, what it does. The first thing it does is remove a specific kind of fear. Not all fear, just the specific one that lives in your chest when you check your balance before buying groceries. That fear is gone. You notice it gone the way you notice a headache that finally stopped. Now, let's go to your workplace. Because this is where it gets interesting. Your desk looks like everyone else's desk. Your lunch is from the same spot everyone else goes to. And when they complain about their paycheck, you nod. Because you remember exactly what that felt like. You are not performing humility. You just genuinely do not need them to know. Now here is where the system starts to reveal itself. Banks are built to move money from people who are anxious about it to people who are patient with it. The anxious pay interest. The patient collect it. That transfer of wealth is invisible. It runs in the background of every transaction, every month, every year. You learned this late, later than you should have. Nobody in your family told you. It was not their fault. Nobody told them either. So you read, slowly, then faster. You started understanding that the system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. Designed to reward patience, designed to punish urgency, designed to keep the impatient renting their lifestyle forever. You understood that early enough to change the story. Now let's go somewhere. Let's go to a car dealership. You are here because your car actually needs replacing now, not because you want to feel something. The salesman walks over. He reads your jacket. He reads your shoes. He makes a quiet decision about how much time to spend on you. He steers you toward the financing options before you have even sat down. You let him. Then you tell him you will be paying cash, and you watch the calculation reset behind his eyes. That moment, that single moment, is one of the quiet rewards of this number. Not the car, the moment. Now, across town, someone else is at a different dealership, and the experience is the mirror image of yours. He is financing $87,000 over 72 months. He will pay $24,000 in interest. The car will be worth $41,000 by the time he owns it. He looks rich. He is broke. These are not the same thing. He will feel this in about 6 weeks. You already felt it. Years ago, you paid it, and you never forgot the lesson. Let's talk about inflation, because it is moving your money right now, whether you understand it or not. Inflation is a tax that nobody voted for. It runs at roughly 3% a year when they say it is under control. $1 million sitting in a savings account earning 1% is losing 2% every year in purchasing power quietly while you sleep. The bank is not your enemy, but it is not your friend. It is a machine, and machines do what they are built to do. You understood this early enough to stop treating it like a relationship. Your 1.4 million is not sitting in a savings account. It is in the market, in index funds, working while you are at Costco. The market dips. You watch it, you do not move. This is the entire game. Patience is not a personality trait. It is a learned behavior, and it took you years to learn it. You had to unlearn urgency first. Urgency is what the system sells you. Buy now, act fast, limited time. You know the language. Urgency transfers money from the impulsive to the patient, every single time. Now, let's talk about what your social life actually looks like at 1.4 million. Your friends think you are doing okay, maybe a little better than okay, but not this. You do not tell them. Not because you are ashamed, because you have seen what the information does to rooms. Money changes the air in a room. You know this, so you keep it out of the room. You grew up in rooms where money was never talked about, but it was always felt. You learned to feel it without naming it. Now you have named it, and now you carry it quietly. Here is what $1.4 million produces annually at a standard 4% withdrawal rate. $56,000 a year, without touching the principal. If you live modestly, you never have to work again. The math is not complicated, it just requires time to build. Most people never build it because they spend the time buying things that feel like the destination, but are actually the delay. The watch is not freedom. The watch is the reason freedom takes 3 extra years. You owned a version of that watch. Once, you sold it. Not because you had to, because you understood what it was costing you in time. Time is the only input that cannot be borrowed. You can borrow money. You cannot borrow years. Let's talk about what your morning looks like now. This is a Tuesday. You are still here at 9:15. Most people you know are in traffic. This is what the number buys that nobody posts about. Tuesday mornings, unhurried. Nobody photographs Tuesday morning peace, but everybody would trade for it. Now let's go somewhere less comfortable. Let's go to a conversation you have had. Someone in your family asks when you are going to get a real job, or a better car, or a bigger place. They love you. They are measuring you by the only ruler they were given. The ruler that says visible things equal success. The car, the house, the title. You do not argue with the ruler. You have simply stopped using it. This is one of the harder parts. Watching people you love use the wrong map and not being able to hand them a better one without the invitation. You were raised to believe hard work is enough. Hard work is necessary. It is not sufficient. The system does not pay for effort. It pays for ownership. This is the thing that was not taught. You now own a piece of the system that your parents worked inside of. This is what first-generation wealth actually looks like. Not a yacht, a brokerage account, and the knowledge of what it means. Nobody threw a party when you crossed the $1 million mark. You did not post it. You did not call anyone. You just sat with it. Because you knew that the number is not the story. The number is what makes the story possible. The story is time. The story is the Tuesday morning. The story is choosing your own direction without asking. Now let's be clear about what this is not. This is not private jets. This is not Maldives. Not yet. Maybe not ever. And that is actually fine. The private jet is $8,000 an hour. The economy seat is the same altitude. This is not the top. This is the safe point. The place from which you do not fall back into the fear. Most people never reach the plateau. They stay on the slope, working harder, spending more, never stable. The plateau does not require genius. It requires time and not quitting. That's the part that is hard to sell. Nobody wants to hear 12 years, but 12 years is the product. 12 years is what you actually bought. And here is what is happening in the world while you are quiet with this number. Consumer debt in this country is at record highs. The average household carries $11,000 in credit card debt. They are financing the appearance of a life they have not yet built. The system rewards the appearance of wealth with more debt. That is the loop. You exited that loop, not overnight, incrementally, then permanently. The invisibility of your wealth is not an accident. It is architecture. You have structured your life to need very little. And when you need very little, the portfolio needs to produce very little to make you free. Freedom is not a number. Freedom is the gap between what you need and what you have. When that gap is large enough, what you do with your time becomes a choice, not an obligation. That is the real definition of wealth. Most people die without reaching it. Not because they were not capable, because the map they were given led the other direction. You have a different map now. You drew it yourself. Slowly. From books nobody in your family had read. From conversations you were not supposed to have. From being quiet in rooms while others performed. From deciding at some specific point that you were more interested in the exit than the entrance. The exit is the quiet life. The exit is Tuesday morning with nowhere to be. The exit is the car that runs fine, the jacket that cost $40, the account nobody can see. And they have no idea. They really have no idea. The man who cut you off in the Costco parking lot, he thinks he read you correctly. He did not. The salesman who redirected his attention when he saw your shoes, he thinks he read you correctly. He did not. They were measuring something that has nothing to do with what you have. And you let them. If this is the kind of story that feels true to you, the quiet version of it, the patient version, there is more here. Come back for it.